Hello friends, today we're going to do some printing. So I have some paper here. On the screen you'll notice there is a recipe for some homemade paint. If you don't have tempera paint, you can use acrylic paint, but it is permanent, so you need to be very careful if you're using that paint. This paint should be fairly washable, although it might stain because it's made with food coloring. So the recipe for this is available if you want to try it out. It's just using cornstarch and food coloring to make a nice thick paint. So watercolor might not be best for what we're going to do. And then you'll need some found objects, household objects. I'm going to be using the cap from a milk jug and just a fork. And I've got one of these rolls of toilet paper. So what I'm going to do with that roll of toilet paper is I'm just going to cut it in half. All right, so I've got two. And then I'm going to bend it and make a shape. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to pinch it. Okay, and if I do that, now I sort of have a raindrop shape. Or if I bend it down and pinch it that way, I'm going to try to make a heart shape. Let's see how that goes. Oh yeah, that sort of looks like a heart. Alright, so there's my first shape. And my second shape, I'm going to bend it. And then bend it again. And I need sort of an arch shape. And bend it again. And again. Alright, so now it's sort of a square, not quite, sort of a semi-round square. Maybe I'll give it one more bend. Maybe I'll leave it. So you can bend it as much as you want, really, just to make an interesting shape. I'm not going to take too much time doing that. So I've made my paint and I put it in a little container that I had in my kitchen. And so let's see, I've only made two colors. I didn't have any more red left in my food coloring. So I just made some green and some blue. You can make whatever colors you like. And before I get started, I want to have a little bit of symmetry, so I'm going to fold my paper. So I'm just going to fold my paper. And you don't have to fold it. You can, make yours a little more free form. But like I said, I want to have some symmetry, so I'm just folding my paper up. So I have some guidelines for my printing. All right, so now I'm going to unfold. And again, folding is optional. I'm plugging those folds there. So let's see what I'm doing. Try and line up some things and see what happens. All right, so let's give this a try. I am dipping my cardboard tube into that paint that I made, and I'm making a print. And I'm just pressing like a stamp. And you can see how I'm using that fold to sort of match up those prints. And I'm going to do that same thing again here. Print. Oops. Print. Print. And there we go. All right. So I'm going to set that one down. And now I'm going to try using this. So I'm going to dip that in there. Oh boy. I'm going to put a circle there. Oh boy. And my hands are getting a little messy with this one. So you may want to try something a little bit larger. Maybe I should try using that fork. because it has a handle. See, my hands are a little messy. So I'm just going to stick my fork in there. And I'm going to do a little printing with the fork. Now, if that paint that you make is a little bit too thick, mine's pretty thick. You want it to be thick in order to stick to whatever it is you're printing. But if you think it's too thick, you can always add a little water to it. Mine might be a little bit thick. There we go. I'm just going to scrape a little bit off. You do want it to have some thickness, so I'm going to go ahead and so I'm using those fold lines to sort of create a pattern. You can sort of see where I'm sort of repeating things in the same places. All right, I have this one that I haven't used yet, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a try. So I'm creating an interesting pattern just by dipping and then touching and sort of making those stamps, and then I can sort of overlap and repeat. And so on. So gather up some supplies. This was just a toilet paper roll that was empty that I cut. Again, you can use things like a fork to create these lines. I could go back with my fork and I can go in a different direction. Or I can crisscross. Cookie cutters might be a good thing to use. You can dip your cookie cutters in there and create some shapes that way. And then figure out how you want to repeat them and how you want to design your artwork. So I hope you enjoy this. You could even use this type of paint for finger painting if you want to rub it on there. As you can see, I've got it on my fingers, so I need to go wash my hands. But enjoy your printing. Printing's a little less messy than finger painting. But again, I found with this lid, it's not very thick. So if you don't want to get it on your fingers, you want to have something like what I used here that has a little more of space for kind of a handle. Okay, so gather up your supplies. Make sure you ask a parent to help you if you're making the paint. And then, of course, if you're using your own paint, be careful. Make sure you have a workspace. Make sure you wash up when you're done. Have fun. See you next time.